Yo, what is going on, you guys? It's your boy King Sanders here, and we are back with another day of sports betting. This is going to be for Saturday, March 19th slate of NBA and college basketball games. I'm super excited to hop into it. We have a pretty decent slate of both NBA and college basketball games, and I found some plays that I absolutely love. I absolutely love some of these plays. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and hop into it. But first, before we did, I wanted to go ahead and say that at the time of recording this video, we are less than 250 subscribers away from our goal, which is 6,000. I do want to be able to hit that by the end of the month, but I can't do that without your guys' help. So make sure that if you guys are new, make sure you guys do like, comment, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell so you guys know whenever I post. Also, quick shout out here to all of our members. Thank you guys so much for everything that you guys do. And thank you for giving such a small channel such a big chance. Truly does mean so much to me. Now, let's go ahead and dive into it. We didn't have a great day. I'm not going to sit there and sugarcoat it. We didn't have a great day. We ended up going 2-4 on the day. So, we obviously did lose some juice there. But we have had a really great week overall. Going into this, we were on a 10, or I don't even remember exactly what run. I'd have to look it up, I think. But we were on a really great run. So losing a little bit of juice is okay. It is the month of March, and March is always crazy. You can never go 100% in March. Just like that's literally the hardest month to bet on. So, but we'll go ahead and do a quick recap of yesterday. So we did have Virginia Tech +1 versus Texas. Texas, they played really great defense against Virginia Tech, and Virginia Tech was a really great three-point shooting team all year, and they just could not buy a basket all game long. And Texas, they could not miss. Like, they were absolutely just scorching hot, and Texas goes ahead and wins that one outright by double digits. It was not a very good game. But then we did have Iowa State +4 versus LSU. They ended up winning outright, so good game here for us. And then we also did have TCU +1 versus Seton Hall. TCU won big time. It wasn't even close. Like I said, the wrong team was favored in that one, that's for sure. But we had a very rough day in the NBA. We ended up going 0-3 in our NBA plays. So we had Aaron Gordon under 12.5 points. Jokic barely shot the ball in the first half, and literally almost none at all in the first quarter. And the guy that took all those shots was Aaron Gordon. Dude actually drops 10 points in the first quarter, cashes it easy in the third quarter. Not really much we could do there. So that one was pretty unfortunate. And then we did have the New York Knicks -5 versus Washington. This was such a bad beat. New York was up by like double digits with like 2 minutes left. Ends up blowing the lead and ends up only winning by like 3. I mean, there was literally nothing we could do about that. And then we had Reggie Jackson over 19.5 points. This one was annoying because Utah smoked the Clippers, right? Even though they were down Donovan Mitchell, they smoked the Clippers, and Reggie Jackson only saw 15 minutes in this game, and he had 7 points. So he was doing his thing, and he would have. I truly believe he would have hit this over, but he only saw 15 minutes. Nothing you can do there. But ended up going 2-4 on the day. So let's go ahead and dive into today's plays. We have 2 plays for the college basketball, 2 plays for the NBA that I absolutely love. So let's go ahead and dive into it. First play of the day, Tennessee -6 versus Michigan at -110 odds. Tennessee, they have covered in 4 straight games, including a huge win last game over Longwood. They ended up winning by 32 points. So they really started off the NCAA tournament right, with a very big statement win here over Longwood. And in neutral site games this year, Tennessee is 5-2 against the spread, so really solid in neutral site games. And following a win this year, they are 16-10 against the spread. They love to, take those wins and just convert them into streaks, and then carry that momentum over. And they've been doing just that. And as a favorite this year, they are 18-9 against the spread. They, anytime that they are favored, they love to just absolutely stomp these teams. So I love Tennessee here. I think that this line is just a touch too low. In Michigan, they've only covered in 7 of their last 16 games, so they truly haven't been too great here towards the end of the tournament, or like going into the tournament. And after a win, which obviously they did have a win to be able to advance into the second round, they are 5-12 against the spread after a win. So really, really poor after a win. So I think we do see a lot of value here for Tennessee. I think this line should be more like 8, 8.5, even 9. So I think this is just too low. So that's going to be our first play of the day. Tennessee -6 versus Michigan at -110 odds. Our second play of the day is going to be Memphis plus 10.5 versus Zaga at minus 110 odds. I know Zaga is a very solid team. They've been very good this year, but so is Memphis. Memphis has covered in 4 of their last 5, and they've actually covered in 11 of their last 14 games. So they've been really solid here to finish off the year. They've been red hot. And in neutral site games, Memphis, they are 4-2 against the spread in neutral site games. And as an underdog this year, which obviously there's a lot of points being laid here, but as an underdog, they're 3-1 against the spread. And versus ranked teams, they've been really, really good. They are 4-2 against the spread versus ranked teams. So covering 67% of the time. I really love our odds there with Memphis. And they did end up beating Boise State by 11, which, another statement win here in the tournament. Technically an upset. I definitely called it. I had it in my bracket, but it is technically still an upset. But they beat Boise, a huge statement win. They beat them by double digits. And Zaga, they have only covered in 2 of their last 8 games, and they are just 4-4 against the spread in neutral site games. So I think this is just too many points. I think that this should be in single digits. So I love Memphis here in this situation. So we're going to be taking Memphis plus 10.5 versus Zaga at minus 110 odds. Our third play of the day, which is going to be an NBA play, we're going to be taking the Dallas Mavericks minus 1.5 versus Charlotte at minus 110 odds. Now, if you look at it, the Mavericks, if you look at it from an actual, just against the spread standpoint, in their last 3 games, they haven't been too great. They have only covered in 1 of their last 3 games, so they're just 1-2 in their last 3. But it's been against really tough opponents. It's been against Boston, who has been one of the hottest teams in the NBA. It's been against Brooklyn, who's obviously a force, and Philadelphia, who's obviously another force. So all of these teams have been really good, and so it's been a tough schedule. Now, the Dallas Mavericks, they've also been red hot here recently, though. If you look at them, they have covered in 13 of their last 18 games. So despite only covering in 1 of their last 3, they still have covered in 13 of their last 18, so they've been really solid. And they are also one of the best teams in the entire NBA after a loss covering the next game. They are 19-7 against the spread following a loss. And as an away favorite this year, the Dallas Mavericks are 10-6 against the spread as an away favorite, and they are 21-14 on the road this year. So they have been really, really great. So I love the Mavericks here. And Charlotte in non-conference games this year, they are 13-12 against the spread. So I think we see a ton of value here for the Dallas Mavericks. So we're gonna be taking them minus 1.5 versus Charlotte at minus 110 odds. And then our one lonesome player prop of the day is going to be Karl Anthony Towns under 10.5 rebounds versus Milwaukee at minus 110 odds. Now, I know taking a Karl Anthony Towns under sounds absolutely crazy right now, especially after him just dropping 60 two games ago, which is why I'm not touching his points. I do think that he could potentially have another good game when it comes to scoring the basketball, but I'm taking his under on rebounds, so it's a little bit different. Now, he has gone under in 2 of his last 3 games, and in the Milwaukee Bucks' last 7 games, they allow the fewest rebounds in the entire NBA to opposing centers, so they don't give up a lot of those rebounds. And versus Milwaukee, if you look at his track record, he hasn't covered in his last 3 games, and truthfully, it hasn't been very close. He's only grabbed 3, 8, and 7 rebounds in his last 3 games. And if you look at opposing center game logs versus Milwaukee, it hasn't not very many have covered. Now, Rudy Gobert, who's been on an absolute rebounding tear, he grabbed 14. But then after that, Clint Capella, another guy known for rebounding, he only grabbed 9. DeAndre Ayton, who's an okay rebounder, he only grabbed 8. And then Vucevic, who's another, I would say, above average rebounder, but he only grabbed 9. So there's not very many centers that have been able to catch this line. So I'm going to be taking it. I think that it should be 9.5. So we're going to be taking it here. Karl Anthony Towns under 10.5 rebounds versus Milwaukee at minus 110 odds. So that is going to do it for today's video. If you guys did enjoy, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell so you guys know whenever I post. Like I said, we are on the road to 6,000 subscribers, and we are less than 250 subs away. So if you guys are new, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, turn on that notification bell. But for now, this is King Center signing out. Peace.